gonna say I don't even know if Chessex makes like hot pink D10s. They probably do.
They do, but her favorite color is purple. Lilac, to be precise.
And I got some sweet gold ones, and they roll like a dream. He says now, waiting for the inevitable.
Purple is a noble dye.
Excuse me?
Purple is a noble dye. Back in the day, purple signified royalty and nobility because it was just so expensive to manufacture the dye for it.
Which is awesome for Sophia. Roll like a dreaming.
Right. So thank you very much, Crosshair.
Yay!
And here's hoping we don't botch with them.
Coldrake, that 100% is how that is how it goes. Every day I'm like, oh, I'm rolling so well, and then it's a disaster 20 minutes later. How are you guys? A happy Sunday bonus stream. How are you, Liz? You good?
I'm well. I basically got off the train an hour ago. Hopped in a cab, zoomed home, set up the lights, and bada bing, bada boom, here we are. I might be a little out of it, but we are good to go.
And John, how are you? Johnny.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Getting ready for my incisor.
We catch a whiff of that.
No, just I gotta build up that incisor a little bit, knowing what I know of what's going on today. Ew.
What?
Yes, Erwin, I'm so glad you were able to catch up in time. Sorry I was nagging you so much, but I'm not really that.
You nagged?
I did. I was like, look, I don't mean to be a pest, but do you think you're gonna have time to catch up before the bonus stream? No pressure, but like, I just want to know.
Everyone's like, but it's finals.
Nagging my...
or whatever. I know you're...
It's like, I have so many things to
nagging
do.
My mods. Nagging she who knows 10,000 things who is present. Your moderator extraordinaire.
Sorry,
ChemDev hasn't seemed to have made it in yet, but that's all right. We do also have Kate in chat. I don't know for how much longer.
Hello.
But Kate unfortunately could not make this session, which is why this is a bonus session for us to see the aftermath of Pennons for both Sophia and Braum. And then hopefully this week we'll get a chance to see the aftermath for Patches as well. Lurking while dinner finishes. There's Camdaff. Makes his way in. But
nice.
To answer questions that were coming up before, this is not considered a standard session. So, which is why it's day 6A. We're doing this because we can and because we want to, but this is not considered day 7. So there will be, sadly, no recap for you. But
yes,
and it is a huge but.
I was about to say that.
We're here now, and here ready for everyone.
Oh God,
Aragorn will recap. Oh, interesting.
Here we go.
Are you going to do this in text, or are you calling in?
I think she's just texting in right now.
Prepared.
It's going to end with, I am very disappointed in you all.
After a disappointing Pennons, and even more
disappointed that Patches was discriminating against people with colds. She's disappointed that Braum, should be better at firearms, and she's disappointed that Sophia's trying to have sex with coworkers.
Okay.
Plural.
Understood. I get one of those.
I don't see how any of this is me.
No, she's not disappointed. How can anyone be disappointed in you? Patches was like, I don't wanna
do it.
I throw the best parties.
True.
3 got together for last minute plans. Patches was like, I don't wanna. And Sophia was like, do it. And then Patches was like, fine, but I'll do it with sass. And Sophia was like, I throw the best parties. Then Braum wrestled some people and he won a lot until it mattered. And then he was like, I'm all bloody.
Until it mattered. Oh my God, that's like my life, Eric. That's so sad. I'm loving it. Sofoko, Puke, Brolone? I think who the...
Oh, little one?
What?
No, bralone, as in you're all alone.
Oh
my God.
That makes more sense.
God damn it, Jay. This is my... How did this happen? We're only 6 sessions. I hate you guys.
It's like, I mean, I understand the like father-son.
Ultra Jordan
like,
2 ends up as a troll.
relation.
And then Sophia was like, I'm singing a song for health. And Talus was like, I'm singing a song for sexy times. Meh. And then Sophia was like, hey, Incisor, how about eating this? Winky face.
God.
I mean, accurate, but oh.
Incom, make it happen.
Brownie.
And then Incisor was like, don't harass me, bye. And then Sophia was like, fine, hey, Kyoko. And Kyoko was like, okay. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, Kenwin. Let's go check up on Kenwin.
It's chimerical. He's fine.
He's missing like all his limbs.
I knock him down. He gets a decapitation. That's chimerical decapitation, right? Loving it. Aragorn with the recap.
I'm still kind of tempted to see how other people, specifically Captain Daff, would recap it. Especially considering I wonder what his song choice will be. But that was Aragorn's magnum opus. Because this is my United States of the Dreaming. Not in this game, buddy. This is not the United States. Kick Kenwin more because he gives Unseelie a bad name. You don't know that, Kung Fu Fenris.
Maybe he's awesome.
I don't actually know what Aragorn is linked here.
Oh, God.
Ah, it's the music video to I Kissed a Girl.
Oh, perfect. If Katy Perry is watching, yes, we accept donations in all denominations.
I won't play Katy Perry, unfortunately, because I'm pretty sure that I can't afford that kind of legal fee.
Thank
but
you, John.
Yeah, I think
We don't have to rely on YouTube's song removal program.
It's literally just someone going ah over the duration that you put it. It's like we removed it.
Anyway.
Yes.
Do you two wish to do a slightly more serious recap as to what you were doing and were doing right up until the end, as we are starting essentially when we left off?
Oh, yes, sure. Braum had a wonderful day of combat where he lost, and then he won a pennant, kind of by default, but anyway. And he is currently recovering from his wounds, drinking from the healing spring, which Sophia made at the pond. He was leaning on Sir Zeron's shoulder, like being supported by Sir Zeron, and now he's drinking from the pool.
Nice.
He's just on his... He rolls over to the side, just dunks his head in.
he's paralyzed from the waist.
I mean, don't worry. It's John allowed me to cast a pretty powerful cantrip on that lake. So you'll be right as rain in a little bit.
He won't heal everything though, because he can't drink the entire pool. In order to heal up to full, you actually have to consume what you've done. He will, however, heal quite quickly, if I understand correctly.
Right,
Let's have a look.
I'll just assume I'm at -5 until I can, until otherwise told. You know how I feel about challenges, Aragorn.
Thanks, Aragorn.
Being in the proximity restores a bashing or lethal injury during the scene. Touching heals a bashing or lethal each turn. Consuming all, or a part of the focus of the cantrip restores all bashing and lethal damage.
Oh shit!
And also heals when aggravated damage. So
drink up, motherfucker!
And we're all like playing keep away with Kenwin. He's like, please, I have to drink. We're like, no, I can't.
It's for closers.
It's healing waters for closers.
Oh, let me turn on the drink counter. Here we go. It's currently at 12. What the hell? Jeez, guys.
I think we went crazy last time with the sizer.
Drink should be working now.
Yeah, they're probably going to be like, oh, great, quick, drink this within the next minute. Otherwise, it'll stop being a healing potion.
So the healing potion is 1 success is 1 minute, 2 successes is an hour, 3 for a scene, 4 for a day, and 5 for a week. So you can't create healing potions that last that long.
Yeah.
The other thing is, simply being in the proximity of it heals whether you're friend or foe. So if you make healing potions and you walk in and you're fighting with somebody, they'll heal too.
Whoa.
I just wanted everyone to get along.
God damn it.
Here,
So
have a
Sophia,
final
what
one.
were you doing just before?
Sophia played a song with Talus, and that made people, namely Sophia, more susceptible to their whims. So
The desires.
And Sophia's desire at the end of this rather successful party was she wanted to get it on with someone. Because of the epicness of her botch, she was not feeling very particular as to whom. So she propositioned Incisor, was turned down, and now
You're at 6. I don't believe it.
she's propositioned Kyoko. And Kyoko seems to be a little more on board, but you never can tell.
They're at 6. I'm shocked.
Damn,
What
well,
are we shocked about?
Well, that people aren't just like, I mean, people are throwing themselves at her, but just that like 2 people successively weren't like, leaping into her arms or whatever.
Because that typically happens.
What?
Well. Is there anything that you want to tell people before we start?
Anyone who didn't hear the song and is curious to, it is in the RPG Clinic forums under the Pennons thread. And it's also in the YouTube descriptor box from the most recent video. And JT's the background, or not the background, JT's the male vocals in it.
Yay.
He's super cool.
He is a cool dude.
That's all.
Kyoko recalls that time in college.
Oh my.
Now, I know that people have said that rejection is something that would be seen very well. Even just right now, Real Brick Wall is saying that Sophia is literally more attractive than any human that has ever existed. I'd imagine she would experience rejection much more rarely than most people. I don't necessarily know if the human race is quite as shallow as all that. But I do think that it would make her more likely to find those who would be yearning, shall we say. But how many times have you gone up to somebody who you find incredibly attractive and just asked them out randomly? I mean, I understand that this happens. I understand that it happens perhaps more often than we'd like. But there is still a certain amount of intimidation that Sophia might put across as she absolutely wrecks the scene with her music and her "oh gods no, you're too attractive and therefore intimidating" nuh-uh. But either way, now that Pennons has completed its main sort of events, this is the part where people just sort of get involved with eating, drinking, talking, laughing. And it is something that the Exhaust isn't used to, but something that, due to Talus's efforts alongside Sophia's, they've managed to whip together an acceptable party. Claude is currently starting to drag out all the sort of foodstuffs that he has managed to prepare remembering, of course, that he can prepare foodstuffs in a third of the time necessary. Now, Sophia, is that giving him a half second for food preparation, or are you just thirsty?
Yep. Let's say both.
Let's just say
Why not both?
Yay!
Zeron helps Braum over towards the Well of Life and dips a flagon into it and just thrusts it out at him, clapping him on the back, and then sitting next to it, having had one of his squires rushed over and desuited him. Or at least the plate. Now that's there.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Zeron.
You fought well. It's the kind of thing that I would expect from someone like you.
That's very kind. That's very kind of you. I don't get the opportunity much to engage in martial feats as much as I used to. It's exciting, and it's especially exciting to fight someone as skilled as yourself. You truly are a great warrior.
Are you disappointed with how today went?
I love a good challenge.
So you can feel like your wounds knitting themselves back together.
I'm not disappointed so much as excited to try to best you next time. Pennons comes every year.
Pennons is...
Shut up.
What did you want me to say?
Didn't want you to say anything.
Pennons is the sort of time that we get together and we celebrate our martial accomplishments. It doesn't mean it's the only time that you cross swords with friends.
I suppose that's true. I've been dedicating myself to the business of this freehold, trying to immerse myself in the politics of it and, well, frankly, the human resource management. But excuse me, Sir Zeron, I'm being incredibly rude as a host, or at least the Lady Sophia's proxy.
I don't think Lady Sophia is going to begrudge a man who needs a well-deserved drink after a hard fight.
Well, this is good, but I could definitely go for something a little harder as well. A drink. Damn it. So, Zeron, where do you hail from?
Think. You sure that you can't remember?
No. Have we met?
Come on. Let's see if we can get you something harder. And he stands up and he puts his hand out and he does that kind of, you know the kind of grab, like,
Yeah. Yeah. Our biceps like bulging or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's straight out of Secret of Predator. Just like
Yes. Oh, nice.
I'm not from Northern Ice, but I found myself settled down here only recently. I have to say, I enjoy the cold. Much like your sword.
I only thought it fitting that I find a new home somewhere more in line with my heritage. It feels very appropriate. And it is wonderful to see someone of your caliber and status here as well. Cross the Shadow needs more nobility. I guess.
Listen, I am so happy to see you here. It is... It's been a long time coming.
What do you mean?
So, as you're walking kind of through the crowd, you see that Zeron's got 3 or 4 people who constantly sort of surround him, and they are running interference. Occasionally somebody approaches a little too quickly, and they sort of stand in and block as if to just give you to a little bit of privacy as you're moving forward.
I'm not used to this kind of attention. Not that I mind it, I just live a very solitary existence. You understand?
Why is that?
Many of my friends and allies, I no longer have them in my life, and there was some falling out with my family. I have new friends now. I'm very happy to be getting to know the Lady Sophia better, and all of the inhabitants here at the Spark.
I imagine you're not the only one. This freehold has been legendary for what it's managed to accomplish in the past. Now that I see that it's under your control, I have to say I'm proud of where you've ended up, Sir Braum.
Thank you. It's definitely happenstance. But a pleasant one. I think we can do much good here. Especially if there are more attacks like the other day. So Zeron, you of course heard of the Chimera just outside of Heart's Light.
Regrettably, I wasn't here. I'd been voyaging. Made my way in from Ontario just a couple of days afterwards. But it looked like you didn't need my help.
We managed to drive it off, but it was, a little lucky. I wouldn't have minded having you at my side to try to take it on.
He walks over to where the bar is, and he picks up 2 flagons of mead. And passes one to Braum. You know, normally I would have said that this was cliche, but honestly it feels very appropriate right now.
There's nothing wrong with a little tradition.
Braum, well fought.
And to you, Sir Zeron. Cheers!
And the clunk of the flagons together precedes just enthusiastic drinking.
Mm-hmm.
The squire, he's my favorite NPC ever. Now look, Braum. You don't remember, but we have met before.
I study his face.
Specifically in Winnipeg. Queen Laurel's court. Do you not remember?
Have I ever been to Queen Laurel's court, to my knowledge?
I mean, it's not out of the question that you'd been to Queen Laurel's court. You probably would have remembered having been there,
right?
But that was a long time ago.
Right. I'm surprised. I'm no longer as young and spry as I once was, but I sure thought that I would remember you.
Stop thinking about yourself in terms of age, Sir Braum. Somebody who fights like you doesn't deserve to have a number plastered across their head.
It's very kind.
Tell me, what do you remember of Winnipeg? And as he kind of claps you on the shoulder and moves you away so that other people can get to the bar, You see Claude coming back out, and he's carrying another round of drinks, which he's placing on the bar. And he's glancing over, trying to see if he can catch Sophia's eye.
What does that mean? It's to me.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes?
Oh, fabulous.
It's like a
Sorry, I
sentence.
did not pick up on the hints there. She's gonna be looking for if there is wine being served.
Oh,
Or
there's
That's
wine. There's
great.
also, because this is Pennons, there's an awful lot of cider being presented as well. But there is wine.
She's going for the wine.
Everything seems to be going all right, yes?
It's wonderful, Claude. I'm so happy with how it went.
It's not over yet.
Would you say it was perfect?
My lady, very few things manage to reach perfection. And believe me, I know I have a scale.
So what could have been improved for next time?
Perfection, ma chérie, means that it has to approach you and your smile. There are many people here and they're quite happy, but they do not radiate the way you do. It cannot be perfect without that.
Oh, that's disheartening. I want to throw the perfect party, and that means it will always be out of my reach, won't it?
No. It means you will always have something to strive for. Listen, no, it is not perfect. Perfect would have meant that, for instance, Braum wins every single match so that he can prove himself. It means that I get to go home tonight. It's an excellent party, Sophia. I don't want to tell you it's perfect because then you won't make another one.
She's gonna take his hand, if you allow her to, and hold it. I know. God, I understand. And thank you very much for all your work. I know it wasn't easy, but all of you stepped up. And you didn't have to, but you did all the same, and I will not forget that.
Promise me one thing, Lady Sophia, if you would.
Of course.
The next time we throw a party, that you'll somehow be involved. Because we do not do this here. I see Incisor walking around actually doing things. It's amazing.
I promise that as long as I'm at least partially in charge here, there will be parties. They will all be excellent, if not perfect.
Now, just go and make a good time, yes?
Give his hand an extra squeeze. You too, Claude.
You notice Kyoko slipping into the exhaust, but she gives you a small wink just before she does.
Oh, shit! I'm gonna look around at the party and check quickly to see if the Slua are still there or if they left. Marcus and Druel.
Yes, currently they're entertaining themselves by sitting by the lake every once in a while, taking a sip even though they don't have any injuries to speak of at all, and whispering amongst themselves.
So amusing.
I'm gonna go over to them.
I'm so glad you both could attend today. And I hope you had a good time. Druel, your performance in the marksmanship, or was it archery that she did? It was one of the... It was archery. Wasn't it?
No, I think it was
marksmanship.
It was marksmanship.
Thank you. Your display at the marksmanship competition was very impressive.
Marcus stands up. It's very kind of you to say so. Is this your first time running such a large event?
Yes, it is. But I had plenty of help.
It doesn't appear that you require any additional help, but of course, we are at your service should you require it in the future.
Thank you very much. You had mentioned earlier that you had some information that might be of use to us.
Yeah.
Should we arrange a meeting?
Of course. I would rather not have a meeting interrupt such festivities as this.
That is very thoughtful.
But I do know the last known whereabouts of Sister Flex.
I would like to do a roly-poo to see if I can tell
Oh, a roly-poo.
honesty's being here.
Sure.
Let's see what
I don't
would
want
it
to tell
be?
you right now, but juicy tidbit.
Tidbit.
I love it.
Perception. Subterfuge?
Or empathy, one of the two.
Yep.
Holy shit, that was a lot more dice.
Well,
Oh my God.
empathy's way better.
Difficulty?
6.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, that is 5.
Okay.
It's a lot of success.
He is telling the truth. However, he knows his information isn't as valuable as he's making it out to be.
Uh-huh.
What a perceptive thing. How perceptive was that? Oh, hi, Ripley.
I don't know, 5 successes is a lot of successes there.
It's like exalted level over here.
She's not quite drunk enough yet, so she's like, well, drunk enough. She's not. She's still like perceptive. She's like, she's only on her second glass of wine.
Indeed.
We can discuss the terms perhaps next week.
Next week would be lovely.
Excellent.
We arrange a time that will work within our stream sessions.
How about
Jarella just continues to every once in a while take a sip and just stare off across the lake. She doesn't seem very interested in looking at you or even acknowledging your presence.
Well, thank you again, and I look forward to our meeting.
I find that time passes quickly with anticipation.
Ooh.
Good night.
I do hope so.
Jesus Christ. Bye.
Shoom! Leaves a Sophia-shaped hole in a tree that she just ran through.
Surely you didn't anticipate.
Oh, it's fluffy butt.
The blendiest, Githane?
Look at your
I think you mean bendiest, not blendiest.
Oh, it's pretty. It's blendy and bendy. Both NETS down.
I don't see the difference.
It's only a couple more moments before one of Zeron's squires comes up behind him, taps him on the shoulder, and whispers something into his ear. And a flicker of irritation passes in front of Zeron's eyes, but then he shakes it clear with another smile. Braum, it seems I'm rather popular tonight. To be honest, though, I don't necessarily know if I want to be.
That's quite a dilemma. As someone as noticeable as you, it must be hard to get away.
Noticeable, I suppose. I'll be honest with you, Braum, I'm enjoying our conversation. I'm not sure that I want it to end just yet.
It may be a bit beneath a knight of your stature, but we could find another place to continue talking, away from all these other partygoers.
Tell you what. Let's take half an hour. We'll circulate among the crowd, as we are now, of course, winners of Pennons this year. We should make an appearance. I know that it's troubling, but at the same time, it's good to be inspiring sometimes as well. And after that, we'll find a place to sit down. Does that sound all right? Is it all right if I let you go for half an hour? Do you think you'll be able to find your way through?
Yes. Yes, Zeron, I think I will.
You're a better man than I am. I need 4 squires just to keep everyone in check.
That's just because there aren't quite as many people clamoring to see me or Whisper.
That's going to change, Braum.
I'm not quite sure how I feel about fame.
Serving your house isn't about fame, is it? And yet everyone knows. Fame doesn't choose everyone, but it chooses warriors like you and me. We don't have to seek it out.
I suppose that's true. So Zeron, we'll speak again soon, and I hope you'll let me admire that blade.
Oh, Whisper? Of course. Just... After 30 minutes, you'll find that everybody wants to touch your sword.
I certainly hope not. I would rather they not.
You'll find that too. And he pats Braum on the shoulder, which to him is lifting his hand up a bit, and then turns around and just keeps walking forward.
I look around. I don't see anyone immediately that I want to talk to, so I just it's like
So one person does come up to you.
Roll over to another drink.
And by person, I mean a small robot smashes into your ankles.
Ugh.
Hey.
Ugh.
You were amazing out there.
Thank you.
When was the last time you fought like that? You know, like for real?
It was some time ago. We almost had an altercation with a very dangerous chimera not that long ago. But in the end, we did not have to fight, and that is good. Cog, I think something to learn is sometimes you don't have to fight. You don't have to show off.
You don't have to fight? But you're amazing at it. I saw you out there. When you said what you said when you were calling upon the dragon's ire, I got chills all the way down my spine.
Well, I assume that's a good thing, Cog, so thank you.
It's like watching one of my favorite animes, except better.
What is an anime?
Okay. And he pulls out a phone. And then he's like, hold on, I'll show you. And then it takes him an embarrassingly long amount of time for him to like actually call something up, and he keeps saying like, oh, it's the Wi-Fi here, and I don't really get a whole lot of great reception. And hold on, just yeah, okay, here. And then he turns and he shows you the phone, and on the phone you see some animation that's just running through.
Well, it's very colorful.
I think this is my favorite kind of watching. I really like the ones that have a lot of really good fighting in it, and it sort of makes me feel good, like I'm living in my own stories.
Do you find that you live through these stories often? Cog, perhaps you'll be a great warrior one day. Who knows?
Oh no. I mean, I made my own weapon here, but as you can see, I'm not very good at it. I don't know. I don't really consider myself more of a warrior. I mean, my favorite anime is Ouran High School Host Club, and that's really more about, anyway. And then he picks up Skag and wipes off its sensors as Patches has done the past couple of times, and then puts it back down.
Sorry. Well, it's true what you say. Not everyone is a warrior. But I will tell you one thing.
Yeah?
Someone, sometime, fashioned this, and I like pat. I like sort of reveal or like touch my sword. Someone made this. Probably a knocker of incredible talent and power. Or perhaps someone imbued it with glamour.
I'm sorry, I was just reading the comments.
I was just saying someone made this sword one day and then imbued it with glamour, creating a weapon and a tool of power and magnificence. And Cog, one day you will do something like that too. It may not be a weapon. It may not last 100 years. But we all make a lasting contribution. And I hope that you make yours here at the Spark.
Okay. Passing behind him, you see Kenwyn, now seemingly healed from his fight. He's changed as well and now is wearing his proper courtly garb. There's a shimmering of black alongside the silver of what he's wearing. And he's greeting people with a smile and handshakes.
I'm gonna look down to Cog. Cog, think about this for a brief moment. I have to go and speak to someone. What is it that you would most like to do at this party? Just think about that.
And then he goes, and then he thinks for a second, and he closes his mouth, and then
and I walk away. I walk towards Kenwyn.
Kenwyn is actually headed directly towards Sophia.
Oh,
Great.
get down, Mr. President.
Does he still seem injured, John?
No.
No, he's been drinking from
Yes.
my waters. Look.
It's an excellent cantrip that you managed to cast there, Lady Sophia. I appreciate it. It's not every time that you get somebody so concerned with those who bring the entertainment at Pennons, huh?
I just want everybody to have a good time. And it's a little harder to do that when you're missing a limb.
Believe me, I know how to have a good time. Limbs or no. You did an excellent job here, Lady Sophia.
You're too kind.
I'd like to think that I'm just kind enough. Braum, you can come onto the scene at this point.
Sir Kenwyn.
Sir Braum.
Well fought, indeed. And I go for the handshake.
He shakes the hand. Looks like I took a bit of a drubbing, but I'll be all right. I'm sure that there's consolation prizes in the offing.
That's right. Well, it was bad luck that we all fell upon you at once.
It's only natural that you would take out the greatest threat before fighting it out amongst yourselves.
Do you have points in sassy comeback?
No, I definitely don't have those. I'm just wondering if I might try to like fake my way out of it. No, I'm just not going to respond to that statement at all. I'm just going to go,
Lady Sophia, it is an absolute honor to be invited here to the Spark. I hope that I will be welcome again in the future.
Lord Kenwyn, I would love to invite you back to see you beaten soundly.
with dignity.
A little bit of spice to go along with my mead, then? He takes a drink.
The best kind. I was starting to be like, it makes it taste all the
Spice mead,
potatoes.
so-
I'm not trying to think of a good one.
My lady, the difference between a loser and a failure is the one who knows to learn from their experiences. Losers don't stay that way very long.
Then I imagine we can expect your apology to our good friend Patches at any minute now.
An apology? For what?
I noticed a lack of courtesy when we were at Heartslight. It was not very encouraging, especially considering how integral she was to defeating the dragon threat.
Well, that's the assumption, isn't it? Lady Sophia, a vassal serves. It's in the Eshiat. It's what she's meant to do. Of course, we're very pleased that she executed so marvelously, but you mustn't forget, she knows her place. We have our own duties to perform.
Yes, we all know our place. Kenwyn. Sir Kenwyn? Is he a knight? He's a knight, hey? Not like a friggin'...
He's a knight. He's not a.
Okay,
He's not a baron.
not crazy.
Of course,
Yes.
now that I have access to it, god damn it. Now that I have access to it, of course now I'm going to check just in case, because now we have a wiki that everyone's going to potentially like look at and see. Yep, Kenwyn is a knight. I did not declare him something else. He was always intended to be a knight. I just you referenced him as Lord Kenwyn, and I was like, did I make him a baron? Did I forget?
Oh,
shit.
no. When I think lady, that makes me think of...
Because you're the lady.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's just... May fuck up.
At any rate, Lady Sophia, if at any time you wish to trade ideas, perhaps on how we can improve relations, you'll know where to find me.
Good night, Sir Kenwyn. What?
I
Sorry.
actually wouldn't know where to find you. Are you staying at Heart's Light?
Oh, Sir Braum. Yes, at the moment I am not staying at Heart's Light. I was no longer required to stay. You can find me at the Four Seasons Hotel. I don't live here. Too cold for my tastes. I like things a little warmer.
Where do you hail from?
Kingdom of Apples.
I grew up there. I'm sure you know.
No, Sir Braum, to be honest, I don't know much about you. That would imply that I cared. Good evening, Lady Sophia.
I barely nod my head.
And he sweeps off.
Excuse me, Lady Sophia. And I'm just going to stalk after him.
Oh.
It's the northeast real brick wall.
Braum.
Yes.
He'll get what's coming to him, but not at my party. Thank you very much. You've beaten him soundly enough for one night.
Shit. Yeah, I have a thing. I gotta. Oh.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna friggin'.
I understand. I find him disrespectful.
Yes.
Well, that's that. But if you are commanding me to stay away from him at this party, then that will I. That's delighted.
I don't want to have to command you to, but if that's what it takes, yes.
Right.
Console yourself with the fact that you made him look like a complete idiot twice in 1 week.
Hmm?
It's not bad.
No, that is a pretty good consolation.
And there's plenty of time.
Yes.
And now we know where he's staying.
I hope you've enjoyed Pennons, Lady Sophia. It certainly seems that everyone is, and I like motion around to like everyone. I assume like drinking and like smashing cups and stuff. I don't know.
Did you have fun, Braum?
It was wonderful to fight again. Even if Kaylee has power I did not know that she had. And even if Sir Zeron truly is a great warrior.
It seemed like the two of you knew each other.
He says that we've met at, oh boy, I wrote it down. He said that we met at Queen Laurel's court. I don't remember that, and frankly, should. It's very odd.
Could this be during the time that you're missing the memories?
No. No, I don't believe so.
Why not?
Well, unless it was one time, and in a very brief window of time.
He seemed very focused on you. Do you think he knows more than he's saying?
Not sure how I would find out. But I will be talking with him again in approximately 15 minutes or so.
Let me know what you find out.
We're just talking. What do you mean, find out?
You have to ask him what he knows about your past, Braum. He must know more than he's saying.
All right, I'll see what I can.
Fly him with mead if you have to.
I think he's well plied already. With mead. Well plied with mead. Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying this seems like an excellent opportunity. I had no idea that a Pennons celebration would possibly present the key to unlocking your memories.
No, I'm cautiously optimistic. As I often am. I just wanted to congratulate you. Lady Sophia, this is truly a bit of a wonder. And it is very exciting. Even if I don't necessarily want to go and throw myself into casual conversation with every single person here. That's not exactly my style.
It's not everyone's cup of tea. But thank you, and congratulations to you as well.
Yes, I look forward to flying the Duke's pennant proudly. Maybe I can learn something from Kaylee about that magnificent power she wields. I wonder.
I hope it's all right that I said that she could fight you. I know it's a little unconventional, but I didn't think it was fair to tell her to stay out.
Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
So, coming from the sky and then just floating around you, around your shoulders, you see they almost look like fireflies, but they're shimmering with different colors, yellows and reds and blues and greens, and they're just floating around your shoulders just a bit, accentuating your dress just that much more. And you feel a small kind of reinforcement of the stirring that you felt when Talus was playing earlier. Although he is actually still playing. He's not singing anymore, though. He's just playing.
Oh, thank God.
Well, no, he's
JT
still
opened his mouth.
yeah, he's still
Still
playing his
dancing.
music, which is enough, but he's not
Yeah.
actively singing currently.
Well, good night, Braum.
Oh, all right then, I suppose.
Sophia, the lights,
I imagine a slow zoom in.
the fireflies seem to be every once in a while positioned as if to guide a path towards the elevator.
Oh, dude.
I'm following the fireflies.
And Kenwin's there. Fuck!
As you pass through, there's Claude silently just reaches out and passes along another glass of wine.
I will take it. Nod to Claude. And head towards the elevator.
So when you ding the elevator, it opens up. The panel is in front of you. There's the top floor, which can only be accessed by typing in a code that you know.
I'm gonna do that. Just have a feeling.
And Braum, what are you doing?
Well, two things. I'm gonna go back to Cog, but I'm looking for. Well, I'm making sure Zeron is still around. That he hasn't
He's
slipped out.
still around. He hasn't abandoned you.
And Kenwin has, if he's left. Oh, no, you know what? You ordered me. I'm just making sure he's still there.
Kenwin is now currently crouched down and talking to Cog, and Cog is excitedly showing him parts of his modified Nerf gun, and Kenwin is nodding along with it and pointing every once in a while and seemingly asking a question.
Well, I'm gonna head back over to those two.
It's a fine invention you have there. I'm sure that if you practice hard enough next year, you'll make a good showing here at Pennons. Sir Braum. And he stands up. Young Cog here was just showing me his latest invention.
That is quite impressive, isn't it? Especially for someone of so tender an age. If you don't mind my saying, Cog.
It is quite impressive.
Sir Kenwin, I wanted to apologize.
Oh, there's no need. I've already forgotten it.
Well, for my peace of mind, I still wanted to apologize for any disrespect I may have shown to you or your station. Welcome to Frost's Shadow.
That's appreciated. But, Braum, as I said before, I've already forgotten it. Nothing you do could possibly remain in my mind longer than necessary.
Fuck. I think you'll find that that's not true.
You've been around longer than I have, and I appreciate that with age can come wisdom. But believe me, Sir Braum, when it comes to knowing how people interact, the difference between you and me is substantial.
I agree.
Which means that, short of you deciding to break the codes of etiquette here at Pennons, there's nothing you could do that could ever make any difference in my life.
How about a friendly wager then? It won't affect your life.
I'm listening.
I don't know anything about House Aileel, so I don't know if they're like...
Aiel?
Aiel. I don't know if they're like, immune to being convinced to do things.
So, would you like to hear what House Aiel has to say?
Yeah, what I might know about them.
While other houses use politics to push their agendas, House Aiel views politics as a perfect end unto itself. Gifted leaders, strategists, and manipulators, even among the Sidhe. The dragons demonstrate a mastery of political maneuvering that makes other houses wary of entering alliances, but even more afraid of crossing them. When you're dealing with the Aiel, you'd best think 3 steps ahead. That way, you're probably only 2 steps behind. Their House Boon, even the noblest members of House Aiel still have a way with words, and their politicians and deceivers never seem to be caught out like others of their kind. Dragons subtract 1 from the difficulty of all manipulation rolls, and can never botch a subterfuge or politics roll.
Oh, shit.
Their flaw, Aiel believe that they are the smartest ones in the room. A dragon must make a willpower roll difficulty 8 to directly admit being wrong, or let someone else have the last word in a heated situation. If an Aiel admits he is wrong, loses a contest of wits or skill, or backs down from a heated confrontation, he cannot regain willpower points and suffers a +1 penalty of the difficulty of all social rolls until he restores face somehow. This can mean getting revenge on his opponent, or simply, unfairly berating his lessers until he feels better.
That's amazing. Oh my god.
I only asked because I was wondering if it was something like that is similar to House Gwydion's flaw. Similar, but, not exactly the same. I would think a friendly wager involving language and poetry would be unfairly weighted in your favor, as would a contest of strength in mine. Perhaps something which we're both skilled at. I will set up a suit of armor out on the field. The first person who can successfully remove all the pieces with their sword will win a drink from the other.
Getting naked in hell with my soul.
Well, not like my armor. No, like on a dummy
sorry.
or something. Okay, that wasn't clear.
Those are your terms?
It seems fair. We're both skilled warriors. It'd be no trouble for you.
So the first to remove armor from something with our swords wins.
Without damaging the pieces.
Are buckles still considered pieces?
Yes.
I accept.
So
and Cog is like,
I'm gonna fuck this up so bad. I'm gonna go get the dummy from the basement,
Oh, Patrick's gonna be mad at you, son.
Oh, that's a good point.
No, do it.
No, I fucked it up real bad last time. I'm still gonna get it anyway.
So when you head downstairs, because you're headed down in order to you hear as you're headed down, you hear just.
Uh-oh. How can I hear it? Uh-oh. I'm like at the ready to catch little one if he's like running into the elevator.
So on the way down, the elevator plays the refrain from Toxic.
Loving it.
In its squeaks. But when you get down to the bottom, the dragon is no longer in its cell. The dragon is sitting in the little atrium where the keypad is.
Oh, hello, little one. What are you doing out here?
And it comes up and butts its head against Braum's leg.
What are you doing all the way out here? Are you looking for someone? And I like point back to its cell. Is the person over there? Maybe up there? And I point back up towards the elevator.
And the dragon curls itself around Braum's leg and lies down and makes sure that it puts its head directly on top of Braum's boot. And then its eyes close.
Ugh. Little one.
Oh, dude.
Oh, God, Jesus.
That wasn't
You
smart.
okay?
Ah.
Oh.
Right. Ah.
Little one, I have... We're still... You're so cute. And I reach down and I scoop him up in my arms. Sorry.
She still seems to be asleep.
Is the room with the balefire... Like, is there a door? Is there a door? That's a dumb question.
Yes, there is a door.
Okay. So it can be... Yeah, okay. I go and I place... I like place little one down in front of the balefire in that room. Maybe put a pillow under its head from one of the beds. Okay, little one, I'm gonna leave you here, but just for a while. All right? You'll be going back in your cell, and I'm sorry, it's nothing to do with you. We just can't tell people that you're here yet. We'll see what we can do about getting you home. So I'm stating this for the record.
Mm-hmm.
I will be returning to put little one back in her cell later tonight at Pennons. If Braum isn't like, unconscious or something awful. But I'll close the door and
you go and get the dummy.
Find the crash test dummy and get my armor.
When you reach the 14th floor of the building, there is kind of a small atrium so that somebody who knew your code still couldn't just like walk into your apartment without having a key.
Double security.
Plants everywhere.
Oh, God.
And sitting just on the edge of one of the benches that line the area. Kyoko sits, and she's wearing, for perhaps the first time that you've not seen her like this, she's not wearing like a video game t-shirt or anything else. She's just wearing a very simple white dress that extends down to her ankles, and she has her hands resting lightly on her knees, and then she looks up.
I'd like to know if you're responsible for this. Gesturing at the fireflies.
I've always found it important to make friends with small creatures. You never know when they might help you find someone more important.
They're beautiful. This, and I twirl in the dress, was beautiful.
I imagine that your life is filled with a lot of beauty, Lady Sophia.
It's important to me that the beauty be created by other people.
In what way do you believe that this beauty was not created by you?
Maybe I helped it along. But without you, it wouldn't exist.
It must be something being someone who is a professional source of inspiration.
I hold myself to a very high standard. Because it's how I hope to see the world. And Kyoko, before this night progresses any further, it's only fair to tell you that I see sex as another way for people to be creative. I don't see it as a contract. I don't see it as a commitment.
And Kyoko reaches behind her and she pulls out a piece of paper and looks at it, and it's got typing on it, but she just reaches up and tears it into 4 and then puts it down.
What was that?
I'm relatively sure those are the instructions to my washing machine. I didn't ask for a contract.
I
didn't ask for anything.
I know.
I made you that dress because I wanted to see if I could make something that could potentially do more than I ever could with myself.
Do you think you succeeded?
She points at the fireflies. Those don't happen unless they're deserved. Now, before this...
You see yourself as deserving, Kyoko.
Before this gets any further, I suppose I should tell you why I'm here. She stands up and she moves around behind Sophia and just reaches out and then cups some of the fireflies that are moving around in her hand and then closes them, their hands together. Well, I came here with a contract, but as you can see, it's been torn up. And I came here with an agenda, but I left it in my backpack sometime in 9th grade. Would it be too forward for me to tell you that I don't believe I'm a terrible person?
I would not say that as forward in the slightest.
Lady Sophia, no matter what happens, I will help you out of your dress. I will make sure that it is not destroyed in some fit of passion in case you ever wished to see it again. But if I were to help you out of anything other than that dress, I should tell you that I consider nothing here binding, but I do consider it an exploration.
I'm not there. I can't help.
Okay.
Not that I would anyway.
Lady Sophia, sex isn't a contract. And to you, it may be a creative pursuit. And I'm willing to entertain the thought that that might be fun. But I'm not doing this knowing that it's never going to happen again.
Trying to unpack the tenses.
And then she
it's like
very, very tentatively, remember how I said that her hands were just very gentle? Places her hands on Sophia's shoulders and then turns her around.
Nice. Are the fireflies gone, by the way?
No,
Or are they still left?
they're still here, but now they're kind of focused where she is, so the fireflies are sort of sitting between the two of you, casting dazzling light on the two of you.
I want to kind of like grab one, or not grab one, but like gently one on my hand.
I don't care if tomorrow there's someone else floating fireflies in front of a dress that they made for you, hoping beyond incredible hope that maybe she might be able to get a kiss out of it. And I don't care if there's a different person every day of the week or every month. I'm going to care if you do this and then never want to see me again.
That's not going to happen, Kyoko.
And then she rises up on her toes, and it's almost as if she's trying to rush into the kiss, but she stops just before, and her hands curl again with that gentleness just on Sophia's shoulders, and the kiss is very soft.
Sophia's gonna lean into it again. Intensified. Yeah.
Do you intend to make it back to the party?
Phew. As far as I'm concerned, we brought the party with us.
Swish. 3 points.
Spew.
I'd very much like it if you could kiss me like that again.
She does.
She wouldn't.
Well, she's gonna do it anyway because she forgot.
Yeah.
Braum.
Hey! No!
Hey.
So you're now carrying a dummy.
I sure am. So
And you're holding a mannequin.
I'll allow it. Yay. My plan is to set up the dummy in the in the arena where we fought the grand melee. I'm gonna suit it into my armor, like not my skin, obviously. Armor that I own. And
when Scott awkwardness and Braum awkwardness combined, it's the most amazing.
Are
thing.
we sure there's a difference? I'm not. I'm not sure. Yeah, so that's my plan, is to sort of arrange that there, and then go and find Sir Kenwyn if he's not following.
Okay.
He's already forgotten about me.
Okay.
No, he hasn't forgotten about you.
That's good.
So the dummy gets placed, and Zeron stands to one side, kind of tilting his head, and Kenwyn reaches out his hand, and the Cluricon who you saw before rushes over and places a grayish blade.
Isn't he shown out? I mean, like, I wasn't there, so I guess I don't know that, but
He was shown out.
Oh, fuck. This is gonna be amazing.
He was booted out.
I'm so excited. I draw my blade as well.
Kenwyn looks over to Braum, and he scuffs his nails on his coat. So is it just that we take turns and see how fast we can do it, or...
I would ask for your input, but I'm not sure what rules you play by.
So as I understand it, the wager was that whoever could first divest this dummy of its armor without damaging it, using their sword to do so, wins. Excellent. Well, come here. He extends his hand.
Yep. Step over to him.
And he reverses his hand and then interlaces his fingers with Braum.
Ooh.
And squeezes 3 times.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to ask...
Yeah, oh, it's a fucking thing. Okay. I'm loving it. What a dude.
So I don't have to ask you squat.
Okay.
Good.
Not squat, Scott. Oh, I should have gotten more water.
So, he leans forward and he whispers in your ear, "You will forfeit this challenge to me. You are now under the effects of a dictum.
Yep.
So here's how it goes.
Fuck.
You can spend a point of willpower to delay complying for 1 turn. If the caster is killed or knocked unconscious before you act on the order, then the power fades.
Uh-oh. Okay. I mean, I also don't know, like, you know, how much of this...
All right.
Like, I'm not
Title
sure
and status are often enough to compel those around a changeling to do her bidding. When the trappings of nobility are not enough, dictum provides an unmistakable reminder of who is in charge. The changeling casts the cantrip and then issues a simple command to the target with which they must comply. A target of dictum may be able to resist the order, but most do not have the will and become at least a temporary servant to the changeling. A red cap, those are just examples. The target determines the realm, which we've done. After the Cathane issues a simple directed voice command, the target must complete the action. Anything which shocks the target's conscience or would result in immediate mortal harm prompts a willpower roll at difficulty 9. If successful, she resists the dictum but spends the turn concentrating on remaining in control. Changelings and supernatural creatures can spend a point of willpower to delay complying with dictum for a turn and continue to act on their own volition. Should the caster be killed or knocked unconscious, the cantrip's power fades.
So, I'm going to ask without any expectations. Would forfeiting a challenge like this be considered gross cowardice in accordance with my antithesis? My personal...
Not
banality.
cowardice. This isn't fear.
That's what I thought. I was hoping it could be turn it into a thing.
So he releases your hand, draws his own sword, and immediately steps over to the dummy and starts deftly flicking at each buckle with it.
Okay, I'm going to spend a point of willpower to resist the dictum for this turn.
Okay.
Resist the deed.
I step up to the armor as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I'm going to go to sort of poke at it. Are we taking turns, or should I don't know. And then I want to wind up and hit him in the face by accident. I want to...
Oh, my party.
All right. Well,
forfeit.
Roll initiative.
All right.
Actually, no. Before initiative, roll me your manipulation brawl.
Sophia goes to get laid one time.
One time!
Everything goes to shit. This is why she can't have nice things.
I got a success.
You got a success? All right, let's see if he notices what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to forfeit because I broke the rules. It's fine.
Oh.
Fine, guys.
Let's see if I
I
can...
see at least 2 ones.
I see a
Yeah.
bunch of
Oh,
ones.
and then it rolled.
There are a bunch of ones.
Whoa!
So,
no, nothing.
so you say that, and then and his head just snaps back, and the lights in his head just go out, and he drops to the ground.
I immediately throw my sword to the ground. Throw my sword into his heart. I throw my sword at the ground. Ooh, I'm sorry. Throw my sword at the ground.
By the way, your dictum is now no longer
Rigid.
at play.
Turgid. All right. So Zeron, help! I don't know what happened. He was standing so, and I go and I try to revive him.
It's just granite skin all over his face.
Yeah,
And
it's all
Zeron walks over. I see. It appears he wasn't exactly recovered from the previous fight, it would seem. Light on the head.
It was an accident, Sir Zeron.
Oh, of course it was. But we're going to need to attend to him, so let's pick him up.
Up.
And Zeron just starts walking towards the lake.
Should we be taking him inside? I'm going to follow. Obviously, I've got his feet or whatever. Should we not be taking him inside?
Oh, no. I'm not actually sure that's the correct course of action in this point, Sir Braum. I think that it's important for us to make sure that he is well recovered from his accident.
That's a good thought.
Now,
Zeron.
I should warn you that people have been drinking from the outside of this lake, and that might mean that the potency of the Lady Sophia's cantrip may be weakened. We'll have to throw him further in.
Yay! I'm so mad I'm missing this.
Of course.
So, 1,
Yep.
2,
Yep.
3.
All right, roll strength.
I throw him clear over the side, down onto the sidewalk. No,
He lands with a rather loud splash and instantly comes up sputtering and treading water.
Are you all right? Here, Sir Kenwyn, take my hand.
And Kenwyn just very deliberately starts to swim like directly away from Braum.
Oh, there's going to be some cat interference in a second. Sorry, guys.
Come here.
Ella, come on. Come here. Come here. Come here.
No, she just wants to hang out over there. That's cool. You do you, buddy. Well, I guess I'll let him go then.
After about an appropriate length of time,
What about an inappropriate one?
Yeah.
Kyoko pads over to the kitchen and pours a glass of water and then pads back and then just places it on the nightstand next to Sophia.
How are you feeling?
I can't remember the last time anyone ever saw my tail.
That's such a beautiful tale.
Is it too much to ask to hear you say that again?
It's a beautiful tale.
Seeing you wear something that I made makes me feel beautiful. Hearing you say that makes me feel something else entirely.
What is that?
It makes me feel like that moment when somebody touches the small of your back for the first time, and there's no clothing to separate you, and it's skin against skin alone, and you realize that you are the happiest you have ever been being totally vulnerable. And you realize that this isn't something that you may have ever dreamed possible. And you hope that just maybe you might deserve it for once.
I'm very glad, Kyoko. I believe you deserve it. I hope one day you'll truly believe it yourself. You made something beautiful for me. We made something beautiful together. And I think you're feeling beautiful now too. And just like that, the world got a little more beautiful.
That really is what you want, isn't it?
Yes. I know it's possible. As ridiculous as it might sound.
Ridiculous? What about it is ridiculous?
People view perfection as being subjective. I don't actually think it is, but it's hard to convince people otherwise.
I'm not perfection. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I'm saying we all have moments of perfection. When we're engaged in creating something that we feel very passionate about. When artists who didn't know they were artists suddenly become aware of the fact after years of pushing that part of them away. And one at a time, person by person, I'm hoping to draw that out.
She pulls a sheet up, wrapping it slightly around her.
But I have to be careful.
Caution.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have to be careful? I'm relatively sure that we took all the proper precautions that you're supposed to.
We did. I said that I see sex as a way of being creative. To me, it's another natural step when an artist is creating something. It just makes sense to me, but not everybody can separate it.
You worry that I'm going to capture an intense sense of feelings.
If I was worried about that, we wouldn't be here together.
Are feelings so terrible?
They're messy. And I don't like mess. And that's why I try to keep people like Claude at arm's length. Because I think he would be looking for something very different.
Claude's an outrageous flirt. He knows exactly what to say in order to make somebody feel just a little bit better. It's his gift, as much as it might be. He doesn't have designs on you.
Are you all right, Kyoko?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Zeron turns his back on the swimming figure. He wasn't planning on winning that fairly.
No, that certainly seems fair to say.
Why challenge him?
I don't mind if people don't like me. In fact, that's good. It means that I am my own person and you clash with other people from time to time. What I can't stand, Sir Zeron, is disrespect. And that man bears a title, but he disrespected us.
You're a good man, Braum. But I fear that you may have made an enemy today. Now, It's not as if you can't handle enemies, but he's not going to forget that.
My hope is that against a common enemy, we might be united again. After all, I'm sure we share some of the same hopes, dreams, and loyalties.
Dreams? We're all about dreams, Sir Braum. That's who we are. And if I get to share in at least one of yours, then I'm a happy man.
You know, Sir Zeron, last night I dreamt very strongly of a mug. A mug of ale, cold and fresh. Why don't we make that dream a reality?
Sure.
Thanks so much.
Lead the way.
Whoa. Whoa, 5 dots. Please add the following flaw to your character sheet. Whoa. Fuck, shit. I lead the way. I'm like marching over.
Are you all right?
Absolutely. Stretch. I feel wonderful.
All year long, then.
I'll have the dress cleaned. And she swings her legs out over the bed.
I can take care of it, Kyoko.
Lady Sophia, no one ever doubts your abilities or your motives. There are just some things that I'm meant to do, and others that I'm not. And she slides back into her dress.
We'll go over and just like adjust it a little bit, like maybe smooth her hair. Give her glasses if they're sitting on a counter. Get
Roll
a little
me,
polish first.
roll me perception. Actually, that's a good question here. Let me check here. Roll me perception. Do you have technology?
Nope. Oh.
Then you can't. So never mind. You polish the glasses.
It's a computer.
Oh, you just crushed it all.
Oh, her glass. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a cool.
She puts the glasses back on.
Oh my
Ripley?
Jesus. Sorry, John.
She picks up the dress and smooths it slightly and then folds it over her arm.
It was a wonderful end to a wonderful party.
We haven't seen a party like this in here in at least 72 hours. Clearly, you must be doing something right.
I like to think so.
Let me get out of your hair then.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Assuming the sun hasn't burnt out, plunging us all into eternal darkness.
Of course, there's always that assumption.
I didn't go and save us from that asteroid that's rotating above. I came to this party instead. NASA's going to be furious with me, and I'm pretty sure that at some point Ben Affleck might cry.
I'll write them a letter saying you were unavoidably detained.
unavoidably detained. I like the sound of that. Good night.
Good night.
And she heads out.
Bye.
And now Sophia's like staring at Braum from the.
I don't know.
Out the window?
Like, what's happening?
I'm just
Wow,
gonna
she's
go
got
check on my
something else.
turkey. I will be right back. You guys
Okay.
can talk.
You gonna
So
baste it?
she makes herself some tea.
Well-
Maybe she puts on some
Slow
music,
jams? Oh,
dances to it a little bit,
She
some
dances?
sways.
that's so funny. I can imagine Sophia being like, "Let's dance." You know what I mean? Just like, not really like actually dancing, but just kind of like feeling the music.
Straightens up the bed.
Oh yeah.
Writes some of the potted plants.
I think this was the.
This is Sophia's room.
Yeah, I think it was the penthouse.
Yeah.
Go ahead. How do you see the penthouse?
Oh
Because we haven't actually
my goodness.
been here in the
I
game.
know. So, first of all, there's definitely a exposed brick because, of course, there are a lot of plants hanging
course.
around. Stainless steel appliances. She's got a gas stove, and the bed itself. I think I pinned this on Pinterest. I can't remember.
Yes.
It's like the bed is kind of made of like repurposed logs,
That's
basically.
fucking
So it
cool.
really
It's like a
looks.
four-poster. but
Yeah, it
like
looks
that.
like someone just took trees, stuck them there, and stuck a mattress on top of it.
I-
And there's a canopy.
I just need to know. Maybe I'll ask you later, so don't forget what happened in that scene just while I was away from the table with Kyoko. I just want to know if you need anything for the synopsis.
Kyoko's sad, and we don't know why. End bracket.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
is that a
literally
note that
write
you're
those
taking?
words.
Kyoko said, and we don't know why.
Yeah,
Kyoko's sad,
and we don't know.
and we don't know why. I think we're gonna put that in word for word.
Oh, she has photography like all around too.
Mm. It's like all of her though, just in various poses, like like different parts of her body.
No.
Captain Daff, no, it is polished by servants, I imagine, like scrubbed.
My servants.
So,
like 3 Boggins working full time.
Braum, where are you headed?
I am going to get a drink for Sir Zeron and I, and I don't know if you want to maybe take that after during.
I'll talk about that afterwards, Diamondback. Thanks.
I want to go somewhere like semi-private, but not into the freehold. There's nowhere to like go and have a hangout, unless there's like a
You have an
million-
office.
Oh my god, I do have an office, and it probably doesn't look like hell right now, so I'm gonna do that.
So as you go through the exhaust, the following things are true. 1, Incisor is carrying off that Clericon again,
Yes! Oh, he's gonna get the shit kicked out of him.
Yay.
Okay, good.
but this time she seems like she isn't enjoying it as much as she did the first time. 2, Claude is behind the bar, and now he's striking up a patter alongside some of the others who have come up. And he looks up and he just tilts his head up as kind of like an acknowledgement of Braum. And then you go into your office.
You mentioned wanting to get away. I hope you had time to speak to the people who wanted to
I've got a
shoot.
couple of minutes, don't worry.
I just thought this might be a nice place to have a drink, please. And I
See that you actually have an office here. They're treating you correctly.
well, as best we can so far. We share. It's well, we're all still learning. Sir Zeron, I'm sorry to be so direct, but I mean, that's the only way I know how. We've met, but I don't remember you. Do we have a history together?
Sir Braum. Yes. Yes, we have.
Why is it that I don't remember you?
I don't know. I do know, however, that trying to remind you of what has happened typically does not go well. And I'm not entirely sure why.
Something happened to me, and it hasn't afflicted you.
I suppose you could say that, yes. Listen, Sir Braum, I'm happy to speak with you on this matter, but just know that at some point I may say something, and you won't remember this. Us sitting here in this office. You'll wake up tomorrow and Pennons will be gone.
I don't want to risk that.
Neither do I. Let me tell you this then. And he sips at his ale. You have many friends, Sir Braum. Many. And all of them are very, very hopeful that at some point you'll find peace.
I know where to start.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm incredibly glad to hear that.
Now tell me, Sir Zaron, if you can, what does it feel like to have a crowd chant your name, the name of your weapon?
He reaches down and he plucks the scabbard off of his belt and then places it on the desk. It feels like I'm doing what I'm meant to do. And yes, it's thrilling, but it's always secondary to me. I know that sounds like false modesty, but there's something else I have to accomplish first, always. The crowds, they're just a wonderful bonus.
You have a higher calling.
We all do. At least I'd like to think we do. But my calling is not to win the adulation of the people. That just comes naturally. And it will for you as well.
I suppose so, although, like I said, it's not something I am actively seeking. I think in many ways I've been a bit of a hermit these last few years. I'm happy to be making friends, allies.
It's been some time. Now we actually have the chance. And he stands up. I'm afraid I have to go. But if you wanted to take a look at Whisper, let me leave it here with you. I'll come and collect it in the morning.
Are you sure? You can trust me, but...
Then let me trust you. Good night, Braum. And he heads out of the office.
Oh God. I, immediately go to see if anyone is in the hall, seeing that he left.
Nope.
All right. Well then, I'm going to close the door and I'm going to very carefully unsheath Whisper and see, what I can discern about it. I don't want to infuse it with glamour in case it, explodes or whatever.
Well, we'll have to let that wait for another time.
You take out Whisper, and it tells you. What?
Tells you everything.
You've forgotten everything about that. Fuck. Oh, Diamondback reminded me. Thank you, Diamondback.
Dargon.
Pargon.
Pennons, man. And I still have one more player to go. So whether or not things happened the way they were supposed to, whether or not the right people got what they deserved or what they wanted, sometimes it's a wonderful holiday.
Aww.
Sometimes it ain't. Your questions coming up in John's Fancy Corner in just a moment.
Die.
Just finishing up some notes.
You guys are welcome to discuss what you think you might like for play of the game, but it is not an official play of the game. This isn't an official session.
Unofficial. Yeah, I got to give it to you. That was very well done. I did not see how you were going to get out of it.
Well, I will say John botched the shit out of that roll.
Oh, I fucking botched the fuck out of that fucking fuck. Holy shit, there were 3 ones in that sucker.
Whoa.
Yikes.
Yeah, so he just passed the fuck out. That was...
Yep, that's how that goes. Because sometimes you get lucky. Well, sometimes people get unlucky, I should say. As we all know.
Sophia got lucky.
Hey,
so,
what's up?
Because there's a chance that Kate will be able to do a bonus session of her own, I will ask you what you learned today. Because if all 3 of you manage to complete a bonus session, you will get experience for this. So, Scott, what did you learn?
I learned that Zeron is a real bro, that Kenwin is a real dick, and I more seriously, I learned that Braum's, house flaw, I think, drives him a lot. Like, he really values loyalty and respect, and seeing people throw that under the bus is really shitty. He doesn't like it.
All right, now let me ask, what did you learn about Sophia's side? What she did, what happened with her?
What did I learn about Sophia?
Yeah, Scott specifically, not Braum. Kung Fu Fenris and Captain Daff, there are plenty of NPCs out there, but this is a bonus session, and they'll be around. People can still talk to them.
We're gonna see him again.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote down what I thought was kind of like the most interesting Sophia quote. So I guess what I learned is that something I guess I already knew, that Sophia is more interested in helping people reach her standard than she is in actually kind of improving people or helping them improve themselves. That's my opinion.
All right.
This opinion is not held by everyone at this table.
Elizabeth, what did you learn?
Two things. So the first is that Sophia has, I don't think she's rarely, if ever, been given the opportunity to be like sassy or cutting in like a courtly politeness kind of way.
Mhm.
And I think she's realized, like, when that happened, not only was she like, yeah, that felt good, but yeah, I think I could be good at this. So I think that's
That's a very
something.
cool thing to learn.
Cutting down Kenwin was like,
Yes.
ooh, I could do that again.
And what else did you learn?
And she also learned that things are going to be interesting working in such close proximity to Kyoko now that they've slept together. And she's curious and cautious about how that's going to change the dynamic, if it changes it at all.
Okay, interesting. And what did you learn about Braum?
Learned that you would think that he would just punch Kenwin for the disrespect that Kenwin showed him, but he was able to find a way around it without turning everything into like a brawl. And that was very surprising. And if Sophia had been there, she would have been impressed. Less so that you
very
like
disappointed.
you ruined
yeah.
my beautiful lake. Fuck you, but okay, that's fine.
The crosshair, you can DM me if you're looking about Puka and speaking patterns. I'm going to point out a couple of things, one for each of you. The first is that I'll point out that playing Puka is one of the things that I really enjoy. It is not easy to stay on top of them for anyone. And I would say that I'm not sure anyone has figured her out yet. But maybe. I can't read all of your minds. Second thing I'll say is that I am fascinated by what happened here. But my question is, Liz, do you think that the botch was being presented with Incisor or Kyoko?
I don't know.
Scott,
Yes?
do you think that being left with the sword is a good thing?
No. I feel like Braum has a really good track record of being like, no one crosses my bridge, you know? Like, you know, jokes aside, but a really bad history in terms of other people being like, yoink, you know what I mean? Just other circumstances fucking things up.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning into this bonus session. We are ending... Go
Can I
ahead.
address Diamondback's question just because I've been waiting so patiently?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this was the question from Diamondback.
Sorry.
And I think that Sophia would like to think that things that she doesn't find beautiful, but that the creator of the piece finds beautiful is good enough. Therefore, must be beautiful. I think that she definitely struggles with it. A big example of that would be when she went back to Pierre-Luc and, oh my god, LOI, get off that. And I rolled, and it was a terrible roll, and as a result, I gained no glamour from the piece of art that he made. So I choose to reconcile that as being, he was very proud of it, and she didn't feel a connection to it, and it bothered her, but it's something that she's trying to work on. She's aware that it's a problem.
I like that answer.
It's a problem.
Hey, Scott,
Hi.
what's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Monday. Normally, it's a Method Monday. But you know what? It's Thanksgiving weekend, and I'm giving thanks by just hanging out. You can join me at 4 p.m. EDT. I'm going to be streaming just a chill stream. It's Civ 6. I kind of want to play Civ 6 with you guys. If it'll not, explode everything.
Tuesday, we may or may not have a stream from our good friend Julian Stambouli. Watch Twitter to find out. On Wednesday, there's a solid chance that I might be able to convince Kate to come along and actually finish out what she's got going on for Pennons, see how Patches ends up. That might be Wednesday. It might also be Thursday, as Thursday will be Kate's day to stream Catch Up Kate. But Friday...
Punchy!
And Saturday...
pretty sure Story Saturday is happening.
Pretty sure Story Day is happening. Wednesday, you can also catch JT Silver. He might actually have his new rig up and running for Noctis's non-canon VR adventures, which will be nice to see him being able to stream without running into those issues that he unfortunately has been plagued with. You can also catch Captain Daff probably streaming right after this, which you'll be able to see there. And finally, I believe that Nohijin might be trying to finish Portal 2 at some point. If she didn't finish it today, I unfortunately couldn't catch it. No matter what, though, next Sunday, right here, Day 7, an actual full session of Changeling the streaming. Thanks as always to our moderators, she who knows 10,000 things and echoes through song, Captain Daff, Aragwen, thanks so much for tuning in. Alongside the rest of you, a whole bunch of you re-upped your subscriptions today. Thank you so much for that. It's doing that will help keep this stream going.
So happy.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Don't fall in the lake.
Don't shit where you eat.